Going live, right. Hello, one person watching. Welcome to Monday's strength class. What I'm going to talk about in our little preamble is the importance of being strong. I mean, those of you that are doing this class, I know some of you are probably doing the functional fitness class as well, and the two go hand in hand. It's just that this one doesn't concentrate so much on, we don't do any balancing exercises, we don't do any real coordination, and we tend not to do much aerobic stuff, but what was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. But the strength classes, they go hand in hand. So today, on Mondays, we concentrate on strength. And strength is really good for, it was good for confidence if you know you're strong. If you're only doing the same, I mean, people say, oh, I get plenty of exercise, I walk. But if you think about it, you're only walking on one plane, and you're using the same muscles, and they're doing the same thing over and over again. You're not actually challenging your muscles. Your muscles, you know how you do something when you first start driving, it's really difficult, and you think, how on earth can anybody manage this? Or if you start knitting or anything, you're all fingers and thumbs, and you can't remember in what sequence things go. And then gradually you learn to do it, and you learn to do it automatically. I mean, sometimes I've been driving and got to my destination and thought, how did I get here? Because my mind has been elsewhere. And it's the same with your muscles and exercise. If you keep doing the same old exercises, you won't progress at all, and you won't get any stronger. So the reason we're doing these classes is to take you a little bit out of your comfort zone, and challenge your muscles, and maybe use them in a way that you don't normally use them, just to keep them getting strong. I mean, we use our muscles in everyday life. What I'm going to do today is instead of doing the press up on the floor, we're going to do a wall press up. So there's going to be a little bit of faffing about when we do that, because what I'm going to have to do is take the camera or the computer, the laptop, put it on the stairs so as I've got some wall and you can see what I'm doing. But I think it's probably more effective than a box press up, unless you can do the full press up, in which case don't let me stop you. You go ahead and do your full press up when you're doing it. Another reason that we want to keep strong, apart from to maintain our independence, and it's just nice to be strong, is COVID. I mentioned this on Wednesday. COVID is rearing its ugly head again. We're I'm sure you've heard there's a little virus around, and we may be, I don't know whether we're going into full lockdown or what, but keeping strong muscles and using your muscles releases certain, I don't know if they're hormones or enzymes or whatever they are, but they help boost your immune system. And so that's another reason to really, that's why they keep stressing, oh, even if you're locked down, you should go out and do exercise. Don't forget to go out and do exercise. So it's really important to do this. And I can't stress enough, if you find something really difficult, if it's physically impossible because you can't kneel because of your knees, we're not actually kneeling today at all. But if you can't do any of this because you've got knee replacements and you just can't physically do it, or you've got a frozen shoulder, not as much frozen shoulder, because that can be repaired. That's absolutely fine. But if you can't do it because you just find it difficult because your muscles haven't done that for such a long time, keep doing it. Don't get discouraged. I mean, when you were one, you didn't learn to walk the first day that you stood up and walked. You fell down loads and loads of times, and you kept trying because you really wanted to do it. You're programmed to do it. So if you're doing an exercise, and it's really difficult, don't stop doing it. Just do fewer of them. Don't try and do 10. Just do as many as you can. If something is very easy, let me know and we'll have a think about how you can progress it and make it slightly more difficult. Excuse me, I've been out with a dog and I haven't really had a good chance for a cup of tea. On that point about making things slightly more difficult, we're going to start doing the plank for a little bit longer each day. We're not going to do the side planks any longer, because I think 30 seconds on a side plank is a lot. But the front plank, the one where your hands are like a sphinx, we're going to start upping that by 5 minutes each week, so until we get to a minute. Where do elbows go in press-ups, tucked in or sticking out? That's a very good question, Elizabeth. I'll show you in a minute. That is an extremely good question. If you do the press up, the traditional press up like that, which I was doing until quite a long, should be the arms that move, like that, which is how press ups always used to be, I think. It puts quite a strain on your arms and your chest and your shoulders, okay? And some people still do them like that. But if you do them, if your hands are at shoulder height and you're doing them and your elbows come back about 45 degrees, that really strengthens your triceps. And they are much, much more difficult, actually. I can do a full press up if I'm doing it that way, but I can't do a full press up if I'm doing it that way. It's just really, really hard. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to take the camera, before we start, I'm going to take the camera over to the stairs to show you a wall press up, because that's what we're going to do today. And then we won't have to break the rhythm of the session to show you a wall press up. So and we're going to have the elbows not out and more in, Elizabeth. I'm afraid we're going to do the more difficult one. So I'm just going to take you over to my stairs. This is the only bit of free wall I have, really. I haven't tried this before, so I don't know where the camera is going to be. Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? You can see that. So what you do is you stand and you have so that your hands are touching the wall at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulders, but at shoulder height. And then take a little, about half a step back, so that you're leaning, so that if you took your hands away, you'd fall forward. So your hands are supporting you. And then you're just going to bend your arms like that. Don't dip your head forward, because that's not the object of the exercise. Your head stays in alignment with your spine. So it's only your arms that move. If you're too far out or too near, just adjust your feet. Okay, I'm a little bit too far out here, but you're going like that. Yeah, maybe shoulder height, like that. And you can really feel it on the backs of your arms. You don't have to go right in if you don't want to. If you can only manage to there, that's fine. But the object of the exercise is you can feel it here and you can feel it there. If you just do that a little bit, you can feel that muscle there is really under tension. Not so much your bicep, your shoulder muscle is as well. So it's doing quite a lot of muscles. So there, shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder, then slightly wider apart than shoulder width, but at shoulder height. Take a little step back if you need to, and you're doing that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing when we do the press up. I'm going to plug you back in now, so that there you go. You can watch my face. Right, let's plug you back in, because we don't want a repeat of what happened the other day when we were doing the functional fitness class, when we ran out of electricity. I obviously had put a shilling in the meter. Some of you younger people won't understand the shilling in the meter. Well, you'll understand the meter. Right, let's get going, because it's 3 minutes past 11, and we're going to start by warming up. So usual stuff, marching on the spot, on your toes if you can. Slightly exaggerate your shoulders so that you're warming them up. And we're going to just do this for a little while. And then we're going to go straight into doing a heel dig with a bicep curl on the opposite arm. And then we're going to go straight into going sideways and push out with your arms. And 3, 2, 1, and then back. Back step with the arms going out in front. Three, 2, 1, and then toe taps with your arms swinging. Just tapping your toe just in front of you. This is a slightly more vigorous warm up than the one we do for the other one. 3, 2, 1. Because I want you to do slightly higher knees this time. Yes, it's a slightly more vigorous exercise. Warm up because it's a shorter warm up. So, and then have your hands here and twist. Doesn't matter if you can't reach your hands. I mean, the object of the exercise is just to get yourself moving. I'm moving towards the camera because I'm losing my balance. The object of the exercise is to just get yourself moving. Move it, move it. I can move it, move it. Any of you with grandchildren watch the Madagascar series. I like to move it, move it. Right. We'll do a bit more marching. Do you know the difference between power and strength? There's a question for you. Strength is obvious. It's how much you can lift and how much. There's a scientific thing about, I don't know, about how much, oh, I can't remember, but it's basically how strong your muscles are. Power is strength and speed. So I don't know if you can, how many of you can jump? Can you jump? See if you can do this. 1 foot, keep 1 foot, go out and back and back and back. So this foot just stays on the ground. So you're going, no, you're not. Sorry. You're going out and back. I'm talking rubbish. 1 foot goes out, 1 foot goes back. And then back together, and then the other way. Out, back, out, back. So let's try it. So out, back. This will get your heart going. This will warm you up. Is that okay? Let me know about that, because it's a little bit of jarring. There's a little bit of jarring. Right, let's get this. Do the twist. Right, we've been going 7 minutes now. We'll just finish this one off, and we'll go. I've changed the order of the way we do things so that we're not getting up and down off the floor. Not so sure about the jumping one. Yeah, no, I'm with you there, Nikki. I just thought I'd give it a try. You could always do. No, forget it. Right, are you warmed up now? Good. So we're going to go straight into squats. If you need to, I wanted to show you something actually. No, I won't. We're going straight into squats. Use the chair if you need to, just to stand up and down. Remember, squats don't have to be freestanding. We're going to do 10 squats, and then we're going to do 5 moving squats. So remember, down, 1. So if you want to make it more difficult, put your hands on your head. Oh. 3. You find the squats really easy. 4. Keep your form. 5. Keep looking forward. 6. 7. Back as upright as you can. 8. 9. The eye still for looking forward. Right. Prayer hands. We're going down. Small step and then in. Small step and in and stand up. Back down again. Step in. Step back and stand up. Show you it from the side. Down. Step there. Step back and up. Step. Try not to lose form and up. We're going to do one more. Down, step, just tiny steps. And then don't get up, just pulse. I'll show you what I mean. Just pulse. Oh, ah, and stand up. Woo! I have to look and see what I've done. Oh, yes. Get your chair. Do it sideways. And we're going to rest your hands on the chair. Remember, your back is straight, your head's in alignment with your spine. Your legs are under your hips. I don't know if I've got enough room here. And you're going to straighten your right arm in line with your ear and bring your left leg up. So that's 1. Right arm, left leg. 2. Right arm. Keep your balance. 3. Right arm, left leg. 4. Right arm, left leg. 5. 6. Right arm, get your balance. 7. 8. 9. 10. And then we're going to go the other way. So I'm actually going to turn the chair around again because the back is going to get in the way. So it's left arm, right leg. 1. Left arm, right leg. 2. Left arm. 3. Left arm. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Whew, well done. It's quite hard, that. It's made me a bit warm. Right, the wall press up. I'll take the camera in case there were people who weren't watching when I did it in the preliminary bit. Is that right? Yeah, that's okay. So, hands on the wall at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder width. And remember, keep your head in alignment with your spine. So we're going to go 1. I'm going to move back a bit because it's not quite not quite testing enough. 2. 3. Your elbows almost touch the wall. 4. 5. 6. Oh no, they don't if you do it this way. You see what I'm doing? 7. 8. 9. 10. How did that feel? I wouldn't mind some feedback on that at a later point. Yeah, sorry. Just try this. See how this feels different. Go back to the. If you're doing it with the arms out, you're doing it like that. Still at shoulder height, but it's like that, and then push. And it is totally different muscles you're using. I think I prefer the closed one, the one that does the triceps, because you're doing the triceps and the shoulders, just not putting quite so much strain on them. Right, just let me get you plugged back in again. Gives you a bit of respite, doesn't it? Right, next one we're doing is the lunge. We're getting all the standing up ones out the way. Remember, a lunge has 4 distinct bits. So we're going to do 10 on each side. Hold on if you need to. Hands on hips if you don't, or hands anywhere, it's up to you. So we're going to go step forward, bend, up, step back. 1. So it's forward, bend, up, back. Forward, bend, up, back. That's 3. Forward, bend, up. 4. Remember, try and keep your knees straight. 5, and keep your torso upright. Forward, woo, bend, up, back. Imagine you've got headlights on your hips, so they're staying pointing forward. Forward, bend, back. I think that's 7. Forward, bend, up. 8. Forward, whoops, forward, bend, up. 9. Forward, bend, up. 10. And then the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 1. 2. 3. I used to be better at lunges than this. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Right. That concludes the ones that we're doing standing up. Next, we're going to go on the floor. Okay? So, just let me get my timer on, because we're going to do the plank, the side plank, and then I've got something for you called the dead bug. You may have done that before, particularly if you've done Pilates. Right, let me just get the stopwatch on. Stop, reset. Right, remember, I'm going to put the camera down a bit for the floor bit. So, remember the plank. Lie on your tummy, elbows under your shoulders, hands here like a sphinx, back straight. Come on, you get that way. Back straight, head in alignment with the spine, and then we're going up, and we're going to do 35. You can adjust your position when you're in this. Remember, no sagging and no sticking your bottom in the air. It's called a plank because you should look like a plank of wood. Very good for your core. Ten seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good. Did you manage that? I know some of you are finding the plank quite difficult, but the side plank's even more difficult, isn't it? Right, remember, side plank, this is why you should have a mat or a nice soft carpet to protect your elbow. So, elbow under your shoulder. This leg can be bent like that if you want. That makes it slightly easier. If not, have it down there. And we're going to go up. And I'm going to start the watch now. I think I did this for 20 seconds the first day. And then I forgot, and we went into 30 seconds. So 30 seconds, if you can manage this for 30 seconds, you actually are doing pretty well. But if you can't, it's something to build up to. It's absolutely fine. Now we've got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down you go. And then we're going to swivel around, and we're going to go on the other side. Elbow, just check that your elbow's under your shoulder. You can get it. It hurts if it isn't. You ready? Right. So up we go, and starting the watch. I find it easier on this side than the other side. The muscles here must be stronger. If you feel under your ribs, by your ribs, you can feel how tight the muscles are. You should be able to get your hand underneath quite easily. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Well done. Right. I think the next one is the dead bug. Let me just have a check. Yeah. So the dead bug is a new one for us. Just watch to begin with. So you're going to lie on the floor. Let's get rid of that chair. And those of you who have done Pilates will know this. You're going to bring both knees up. So it's called tabletop, so that your knees are at 90 degrees. So now straight out, that's perpendicular, and then 90 degrees. And your arms are going to be straight up. Now the object of the exercise is to lower one leg to the floor at the same time as lowering the opposite arm to the floor. Just brush the floor, don't touch. Try not to let this leg move. So when you're doing it, you're going back, and it's only, see, this leg is moving. It's only those legs that move. Yeah. Don't know if you do dead bug opposite arm and leg or same arm and leg. I'm not actually sure. Anyway, I'm going to have to go this way. I'm running out of space. So, going to tabletop. So your knees are 90 degrees. Arms up here, arms are perpendicular. This is why it's called dead bug. And then we're going to lower your left leg and your right arm. But your right leg and your right arm are going to stay exactly where they are. So we're going to go down and up. 1. I'll look it up and see whether it should be opposite arm and leg or same arm and leg. I just can't remember. 2. We're doing opposite arm and leg anyway. 3. 4. 5. Keeping your other leg still. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Just hug your legs in a little bit. Just give yourself a bit of a rest. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So you go into tabletop, arms up. So it's your right leg and your left arm. It's a bit like patting your head and stroking your tummy. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Hug your knees in a bit. You can. Right. Last dance we're going to do is just going to do some bridging. So if you're lying on your back and have your your heels should be just well, wherever is comfortable for you, actually, just a little bit in front of your hands. And then we're just going to go up and squeeze. We're just going to hold that for a few seconds. We're going to do 10 of these. So squeeze and then down. And then up and squeeze. And make sure your knees, squeeze through. Make sure your knees stay parallel. Don't bring them in. Don't have them going out. 3. And then up. You don't need to go right up. Just squeeze your glutes. 4. Hardly touching the floor, and then you're back up again. 5. And then down, and then up and squeeze. 6. And then down, up and squeeze. 7. And then up and squeeze. 8. 9. Last one, squeeze those glutes. It's impossible to do this without squeezing them, actually, isn't it? With all the buns of steel. And then down we go. Okay? And then just sit up any way you can. And what we're going to do, because we've been on the floor, and although we've been using strength, we haven't been getting the blood going round a bit. And I want to warm us up a bit before we do the stretching. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same as we do on the functional fitness class. We're going to finish with 3 bouts of high intensity exercise, 3 20-second bouts. I know my head's cut off, but we're just going to do very, very small running on the spot. Not big steps, just tiny little steps, as fast as ever you can. And you're going to do 3 bouts of 20 seconds. So on your marks, set, go. Fast as you can. Really get the heart pumping and the lungs working and the blood rushing around your body. If you have any heart problems, if you have any pain, anything hurts, cease immediately. 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. How was that? You've been lying down, so if you're standing up, if you're going a bit dizzy, make sure the chair's next to you. Don't fall over. If you feel slightly dizzy or anything, sit down, for goodness sake. Maybe we went into it a little bit quickly. So I feel it's been quite a hard session today. I don't know what the rest of you feel. If you've managed to do all the exercises and do all 10 of each one, you've worked hard. You definitely have. Right. To see if anybody has written anything more. Yeah, not sure about the jumping. Right. You ready for the next bit? On your marks, set, off you go. $17, $18, $19, $20. There we go. How was that? I bet you're puffing a bit now. And then I'll give you a little while to recover. And then when we finish this, don't go rushing off. We've got the stretching to do, because you've worked your muscles quite hard. So we need to just stretch them out a bit. There is debate about how much good stretching does you, but it makes me feel good. I like stretching, so that's why I keep doing it. And also I do notice if I do stretch, my muscles do feel better afterwards. Whether there's science behind it or not, I don't know. There's 2 schools of thought. There's always schools of thought about things, aren't there? Right, are you ready for the third one? Give it a bit of welly because this is the last one. So on your marks, set, off we go. I say we, I mean you. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. How was that? Did you manage them all? Are you puffing and panting now? In a minute, we'll go into the stretching in a minute. As usual, obviously, I say the classes are free, but if you want to show your appreciation, feel free to buy me a coffee. The link is on the comments underneath the. If you're looking on a laptop, you go in. The comments are underneath the picture, and there's a link there for buy me a coffee. But it's not compulsory. Right, are you ready? We need the chair. We're going to stretch the calf muscles. So, as usual, one leg forward and bend the the other leg back and straight. I'm going to tip this down a little bit because I'm at the back of the room, but you keep doing it. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And then gently bend your back leg, and your heel will come off the ground, and you should feel the stretch going down into your Achilles. And then switch legs, back leg straight, front leg bent. And gently bend your back knee. Okay, quadriceps now. This is the one where, if you can, grab your leg. Grab your foot, your trouser leg, your sock. You can use a band, or you can use a towel to keep it up. If you can't do that, if it's painful or you can't do it, do dynamic stretching. So do this. Okay, you can either hold on or not, as the case may be, whichever you want. It's good to practice your balance. But if you need to, hold on. The balance police are not going to come charging through the door. Try and keep your knees together. Stand up straight. That gives a better stretch. Dynamic stretchers, keep doing it. Static stretchers, grab your other leg. I'm going to try and balance again. Okay, right, hamstrings. So sit in the chair, sit right at the front of the chair, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees, sitting up nice and straight, one leg forward, toe pulled back, and lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. Ooh, that's fierce for me today. Some days is easier than others. And then sit up and do the other leg. So sitting up nice and straight, lean forward. Okay, standing up, arms at shoulder height, palms facing forwards, round the tree, so your arms are like that, not like that, at shoulder height, and dip your head. And then if you can, interlink your fingers behind your back. If you can't, just try and get your elbows together. And if you're interlinking, just pull your hands up a bit. Get that stretch across the chest. You know, when we do this one, I look like Eric Morecambe, don't I? That's important to get your back strong, because your back needs to be strong to hold it back, and your chest needs to be flexible and not tight to keep you upright, so as you don't have that stooped position. So get those arms up. And then we're going to do the triceps. I'm going to put this up again a bit. Right, so hand up, palm down your back, that way. And this stretches this here, so you push this back. And then release it. And then same on the other side. That's the other thing. If you're new and you enjoyed this, you could maybe subscribe and also maybe click like. Subscribing, it doesn't mean that it costs you anything. It's just another way of liking. It means you get notifications. If I write anything, you get notifications. And then release that. And that, my dear friends, is it for Monday. If you managed the exercises, you did really well. Have a practice of the wall press-ups and see what you think and let me know. I'll check out whether the dead bug is opposite arm and leg or the same arm and leg. But the trick is, it's good for your core, because the trick is in Pilates, when you do that, you engage your core before you do it. And the trick is to keep the other limbs static and exactly as they are. So it takes quite a lot of core strength to do that. But anyway, well done. You worked really hard, and hopefully see some of you on Monday for the functional fitness.